All right, welcome back. Today's another Thursday episode. Little rundown of what's been happening here on the Good View quarter. This is episode number 9, I believe. So you can find this at homesteadsandhomeschools.com/GVQ09. I'll put some pictures up there. You guys can check that stuff out. You see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about my chicken tractor, poultry tractor, whatever you want to call it, and I know some other links to Amazon, homesteadsandhomeschools.com/Amazon, where you can get my affiliate link. You can go click on that and hook me up with a little percentage of whatever you purchase, and it won't cost you a dime. It's free. So go do it. What are you waiting for? I'll also have the Discord link in there, which I recommend you go check out. It's growing. It's getting cooler. Yeah, it's fun little community. So I encourage you guys go check that out. So we're gonna start with homeschooling. We use box curriculum. We use Moving Beyond the Page. We did that with all 3 of our kids this past year, and our youngest one, it wasn't up her alley. So we are going to do it with our oldest 2, and our youngest daughter is going to do something else, and it's going to be a bit of a patchwork that we're going to pull from here, from there. We have lots of different resources that we have accumulated for our other children. Just hand-me-downs from other homeschool families, from my mother. She's a retired teacher. From my wife's mother, who homeschooled her kids. All those resources are there, and that's where we're going to be pulling all that stuff from. We've gone through pretty much all the stuff that we need for our older kids. So we're trying to piece that together so that some of the units align. We really want to kind of dial it down to it, so it's more of a like that one-room schoolhouse kind of feel, where they'll both be learning about weather, but at different levels, right? So you kind of scaffold it all up as you go, and next time they go over some of the stuff, they have a pretty solid foundation. So we're going to see how that goes. Hopefully it will go well, and hopefully all will be good. We'll see. Our youngest son is he's going to be going to preschool this year at the public school. And there's multiple reasons there. I do think he needs we're going to see how things go. Just going to put it that way. Get some testing and some services, and see where we land, and what we do. It's not. I don't foresee it being a long-term thing. Probably just this year, maybe kindergarten, depending on what the school is able to offer, and what seems to be useful or sufficient. Not sufficient, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it on the homeschool front. It's summertime, so living's easy, right? What else we got going on? Mostly homestead stuff. If you guys recall back when I was recapping recapping the month of April. I teach my kids, and I don't even know how the months go. So when I was recapping April, I mentioned that we had just got some broilers, some Cornish cross. We had a bunch of blue slate turkeys that we were raising up, and we had a mother hen that had just hatched out 8 chickens. We had 8 chicks alive out of 12 eggs at the time. And so I was telling you guys all about that and how excited I was. Well, May was a deadly month for poultry around here. It just, nothing seemed to be going right. Everything was just, I tell you, there was times when it was just kind of, I'm ready to quit, ready to just kick it in and forget it. It's not worth it. Just not worth it. We lost a couple chicks just because, and same with turkeys. We lost a couple in the beginning, and we were kind of through it. And I think it was the night after I recorded April's recap that a raccoon got in the chicken coop, and it killed the mother hen, and it killed 5 of the babies. So we were left with 3 chicks. They were probably, I figure at that time, they were probably 3 days old, 4 days old. So that kind of sucked. She was an older hen, that not older, but she was a second generation hen that we had from our first batch of chickens here. And she'd finally sat on some eggs and hatched them out. She wasn't that great of a mother last year, and she did well this year, and then the raccoon got her. So that was a major bummer. But we brought the chicks inside, and we had them coming along, and they were surviving well. And actually, no, I think we had 5 left. I correct that. The raccoon got mama hen and 3 chickens. So we had 5 left. We brought them inside. And somewhere along there, they got coccidiosis. I didn't notice it right away. By the time I noticed it, it was too late. There was a little bit of red poop. I thought it was because we had given them some beet scraps and there was some guinea pig food that they were scratching at that had some red dye in it. And I just kind of chalked it up to that. I've dealt with coccidiosis in goats, but never chickens. And I've had plenty of chickens, and we've never had to deal with it. And I don't do the medicated feed or anything like that. So that was a real bummer. We lost 2 to that right away. And I as soon as we figured it out, I ran out to the store and picked up some Corid. Because apparently the other stuff you can't buy anymore. I don't know. We'll get into that a little bit later in the show. But I had to go pick up some Corid. Which I put in their water and started giving to them. And I gave that to the chickens, the broilers and the turkeys and everybody to kind of stave off that coccidiosis, because it's bad. That stuff's bad. It just runs through, and they look like they're doing fine, and then an hour later they're face down, done. So we're down to 3, and then my son, who knows he's not supposed to go out there. If you listen to Tuesday's show, you'll have already heard this story. He went out there to the brooder and opened it up and took one out. And not really sure what happened, but he managed to kill it. I think he either squeezed it to death or he took it on the trampoline and squashed it. Either way, it died. So we were down to now 2 chicks out of 12 eggs. I think we had 10 chicks that actually hatched. So really quite a bummer to just see how quickly all that life was just extinguished and for no purpose. It wasn't like they were being turned into food. We put them in the crock pot and fed them to the dogs, but in terms of people, not a whole lot was happening there. So it's really kind of sucked. And the same with the turkeys. We lost a couple turkeys out. Found them. A couple just died. Had another experience where not entirely sure how it died, but a fairly healthy turkey just kind of died. It could have been like it got into some poison, but I think it was another crush wound of sorts from another individual. So we are figuring out brooders and tractors and the like, because that is the biggest concern right now. There's predators everywhere, and it sucks, but we're figuring it out. And that was a major bummer. And on top of that, the goats. One of the goats had diarrhea. I don't worm our goats on a schedule. Some people will yell at you for that and tell you, you gotta worm twice a year at this time, that time. And when it boils down to it, worms are building immunity. They're, what used to work doesn't work. Ivermectin used to work, doesn't work anymore. And part of that's because I think people just, put out medicated feed all the time. People I'm just going to dose my goats with this because, that's what I'm been told to do. And I fail because I don't have a microscope to do an actual fecal. So I'm not actually sure if they have worms or not. I just know they have diarrhea. So I wait, and when I see them kind of getting the scours there, then I'll worm them. So we had one that got a little runny, and we wormed her, and saw some worms in the poop, and that was that. So we wormed the goats then, and thought we were good. 4 days later, one of the goats that we had just wormed, diarrhea came back. Actually, no, she got diarrhea, right? So she had regular poop, now she got scours, and no idea why. So we gave her some ivermectin, hoping that would help, and it cleared up. A week later, another one. Happened to another one. And I'm not sure if it's worms. I can't tell. I've looked at the eyelids and I can't tell. For all I know, it's something in the field that they're eating that maybe they shouldn't be eating, but then why don't they have it all the time? And why is it just 1 or 2 goats? I don't know. Thankfully, we have not lost a goat, because that would have been the nail in the coffin this month. That would have been a real kick in the bucket. I'd just be done, I think. But so that's that. The our mama hen died, but on the positive side, there are 2 more hens that are sitting. So I usually try not to let them sit. If I have one sitting, I won't let another sit, or I don't need a ton of chickens, really. We kind of have enough right now. We're getting cartons of eggs stacked up on the countertop, and don't need so many eggs. But so anyway, the mama hen, we have 2 now that are sitting, and I'm letting them sit just to kind of see if they can do it, and hopefully they can, and we'll throw a few more chickens into the flock, and who knows, maybe sell some at an auction if we end up with enough, because I don't really feel like having too many. Just more mouths to feed, but it is handy to have a broody hen, hens that will grow broody, that know how to raise chickens up. So we got that, and that's positive. That was kind of like the end of the month on the right note kind of thing. You look back at everything, and it's good. It's good because the corn's coming, and the cucumbers are starting to ripen, and chickens are sitting, and that's good. That's good. I'm going to start the month out next month with a whole bunch of death as we process our meat birds, but I guess that's what they're for. It's always hard to do. It's never easy, but it is what it is. And if you want to eat, do it yourself, right? Because at least I know those chickens are out in that goat pasture, living their best life for now. And I know that when it comes time to process them, that they will be done in humane as possible. And I can't tell you that about the chicken processing plants. You don't know that. So there's that. What else did we do? To the garden. I've never fertilized a garden. I don't use pesticides on a garden. I know there's organic solutions. I just never have. Part of that is because probably my garden's never really been that big, where it's been an issue, or I've kind of had time where I could take care of those things before I had kids. Now it's kind of coming about that, okay, there's a little bit more weeding that needs to get done than I can do. There's a few more bugs out here that I can actually pick off and take care of. I used to spray like on the cabbage moths, the caterpillars there, just like Dawn and just soap water. But, potato bugs are starting to get on the tomatoes. And I've never had them on the tomatoes before. I know they would, just because of the whole nightshade family and whatnot. But first year I've seen them on tomatoes, and man, they do a number. And even the chickens won't go after them because they won't eat tomatoes, and they know, like, okay, this is going to taste nasty, might make me sick, I'm going to stay away. So been trying to take care of them. But the big thing is our plants. Some are kind of turning yellow, and I really need to get the soil tested. It's something I needed to do like years ago, and I never did, but I need to this year. we cleaned out our barn. It had cow poop in it from, I don't know, 3, 4 years ago. Well, 5 years ago at least, because it was there before we bought the house. And we dumped a bunch of that in our garden. And I figured, I'm not sure how much value it had in it. Probably a lot of the nutrients have broken down. At the same time, I would think that it would help lighten up the soil a little bit. We're on sand and clay pretty much. And it's really the garden, like lots of my plants, they're starting to turn yellowish. And sometimes I wonder if it's not some sort of fungus, or when I've asked around, it seems most people will agree that they need food of some sort. So I broke down and I got some fertilizer and I put it around the plants gently, and I've not yet seen a difference. So I don't know. Maybe I didn't put enough down. I've never done it before, so I don't know. But hopefully it'll be all right. One of the things that's really been a bummer with it, and again, I don't know if it's, not getting enough food. It almost looks like the bugs. But my squash, I love winter squash. And that's one of my biggest gripes about being down here in the South. Growing winter squash is, almost impossible. One year we did awesome with the North Georgia candy roaster, sugar roaster, whatever it is, and that was amazing. I put them in this year, and they're doing well. There's some big fruits out there, but one day the leaves will start turning yellow, and then 2 days from now the whole vine is dead. And I haven't seen the kind of drilling that the squash beetles do, that sort of like almost sawdust that they leave out when they drill into the vine. I haven't seen much of that, but the way the plants die, that's kind of what it looks like. And I've not seen plants die when they don't get fed. I've not seen them die in a way like that, where the whole thing just kind of one day just turns yellow and dies. But we'll see. I really got to get that soil tested. So maybe when I get a minute, I'll go do that. But what else? One more. So I mentioned we need new chicken tractor, new poultry tractor, whatnot. So I built one of those, and I will throw some pictures up. It's almost done. I gotta cut a couple pieces of PVC and glue them together, but that should be done soon. And throw that up. It's about 15 by 8, 15 by 7, and it'll be good. We're going to put it out in the goat pasture, put the turkeys in there, and that can be their sort of home base. And then when they're done, because they'll be able to fly out. But that's really the purpose of what we're doing. We're going to clip their wings so they can't get over the fence, the 4-foot woven wire fence. But I really want them out there with the goats and stuff, because the dogs, the Great Pyrenees, are phenomenal with our chickens, with the turkeys. They take care of them when they're babies. They watch them. They won't let any other animals near them, dogs or goats. And it's phenomenal. They are amazing dogs. Absolutely amazing. I cannot speak highly enough of this pair that we have. So hopefully the turkeys can be out there. That'll cut down on a feed bill of sorts. They'll have that whole pasture to peck at, and there's some oak trees and whatnot, and they'll be eating acorns, and that'll be good. So I'll throw some pictures up there of all that goodness. And I think that's it for this month, you guys. Hopefully next month we'll have more vegetables. All those tomatoes be coming ripe, corn starting to tassel and silk right now, and some of that'll get picked, and have more baby chicks to put pictures up, and all that goodness. So anyway, guys, thank you for checking this out on your Thursday. I appreciate it. If you are listening to this on podcast and you want to see my friendly, smiley face, you can do that on YouTube, which will also be in the show notes. homesteadsandhomeschools.com/GVQ09. I will link to the YouTube video in there. as well. YouTube videos are always funny. I always look at them afterwards. I'm like, wow, my head bobbles quite a bit. So if you want to see a head bobbling weirdo, go check that out. Very cool. And if not, keep on listening on that podcast, guys. And if you haven't already, go leave a review, subscribe, hit all the buttons. Follow me on Twitter. Not that I post things on Twitter too much, but I do on occasion. And like I said on Tuesday, if you have a direction that you want to see the show go, if there's topics you want to see covered, if there's things you want to see me do more or less of, please get at me and let me know. homesteadsandhomeschools@gmail.com. Find me on Twitter at HS and HSPod. I am open to advice, to direction, to whatever it is that may suit your fancy. So, anyway, guys, that's all for today. Enjoy your weekend, and remember, get out there, sow those seeds of liberty. We can all reap sheaves of freedom together.
Homesteads and Homeschools is part of the Liberty Hippie Podcast Network. If you like what we do, be sure to check out This Week in Liberpods, Peace Freaks, Cannabis Heals Me, and Free Market's Green Earth. We're living proof that libertarian doesn't mean washed up Republican.